I absolutely love Armageddon. Armageddon is one of the greatest theatres of war that Games Workshop has ever created, and it has so much history to the planet as well. Recently, we've only just learned that Armageddon was in fact Ullanor, just renamed to Armageddon, and for those of you who know what Ullanor was, it was basically the terror of the Orc Empire. It was their capital world. It's like us losing Terra and wanting to retake it. That's why, there's such a deep draw to the Orcs to go back to Armageddon and Gazskull in the wars he waged on there. And talking about the wars that he did wage on there, they have been some of my favourite wars. I've always been a huge fan of Orcs. Orcs are my top Xenos race. I always get questions, Varak, if you was ever start a Xenos force, which force would it be? And it would be Orcs, because they're just so brutal, they're just mad when it comes to their technology. So when the Imperium always squares off against Orcs, I'm always at the edge of my seat, just rocking on like, come on, everyone start purging each other. Now, the other day, a friend of mine sent me a link to a Reddit post on 40k lore. It's a fantastic Reddit, by the way. If you're not over there, go over there. They have some fantastic discussions, and it stated that 50,000 Space Marines, or around 50,000 Space Marines, took part in the Third War of Armageddon. And this absolutely staggered me, because I thought in my mind that it was between like 3,000 and 5,000 Space Marines took part, because I know like the Blood Angels there, the Black Templars were there, I know the Salamanders were there because Grimaldus kicked him out the bloody city, but 50,000 Space Marines being at Armageddon, that is a massive amount of Marines. You are talking Legion size strength, or you could debate half a Legion size, because normal Legions were around 80,000 to maybe 150,000, something like that. But it's still a massive amount of Space Marines fighting on one planet. Let me try and put this into perspective. When the Beast event happened during M32, if I recall correctly, the Last War Protocol was enacted, and there was probably around 10 to 20,000 Space Marines that took part in that. And when I say 10 to 20,000, most of them were the Sons of Dawn, because the Last War Protocol was enacted till the Black Templars answered, the Soul Drinkers, the Excoriators, the Executioners, the Imperial Fists answered, but they didn't really have a lot of guys to really answer with. And there was like bands of like Space Wolves, Salamanders, and some other chapters that took part and joined in as well. But the problem with that is that the Beast hit out across the galaxy all at once, so everyone couldn't come together and gather in one spot, so you had to really attack with what you had. What really made up the numbers to go against the Beast, of course, was like the Imperial Navy, the Imperial Guard and stuff like that. But still, the gathering of Space Marines wasn't anywhere near the supposed gathering of the Third War of Armageddon. Now, what I'm quickly going to do is just go through those Space Marine chapters that took part during the Third War of Armageddon and how many companies they actually sent to the planet. Of course, this is a wiki, so we kind of have to take it at face value. I know that some stuff can change in wikis, some stuff that says, it needs citations and stuff like that. But all in all, we're going to look at it like this. So the first chapter, actually it's in alphabetical order, so I'm just going to go through it the way it states it. So the first chapter is Angels of Fire, and they sent 7 companies to Armageddon. That is nearly a full chapter's strength sent to one planet to fight the Orcs. The Angels of Redemption sent 4 companies. We know the Angels of Redemption are Dark Angel successors. Maybe they were there for other purposes. We'll never know. Angels of Vigilance sent 6 companies, so 1 company less than the Angels of Fire. The Angels of Porphyr, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, they sent 8 companies, so that is like more than the Angels of Fire, and of course, the Angels of Vigilance. Black Dragons, which were so-called Salamander successors, I know it doesn't state here in the new book, they send 9 companies. That is 1 company away from an entire chapter deploying on a planet. All those companies together, that is enough to subdue like any system in the galaxy. Any system. And then on top of that, you've got the Black Templars that sent 3 crusades 3 bloody crusades. We know Hell's Reach was commanded by Grimaldus and his little retinue, and we know that Helbrecht took command of the fleet above Armageddon. He was like the so-called Lord Admiral. Everyone had to obey him in their starships. Blood Angels sent 1 company. Come on, Blood Angels. You're supposed to be the sons of bloody Sanguinius here with all your, your painted on nipples and stuff like that. You should be sending way more companies. The Celebrants sent 10 companies. Bloody 10 companies. So an entire chapter of the Celebrants deployed on this planet. And also the Celestial Lions sent 10 companies to Armageddon. Their entire company was deployed on the surface at Armageddon. We all know what happened to those chaps. The Orc snipers took them out. They were fantastic marksmen that day. The Exorcists took 12 companies. Now, the Exorcists do have more companies than normal people because they actually go through a lot of recruits, or I should say a lot of Marines, because the way they initiate them into the chapter, they basically have to be possessed by a demon, and that doesn't always go the way it does. Plus, they work closely with the Inquisition, so if they do step out of line, they step out of line, they have more free will than other chapters, let's say, because they work closely with the Inquisition. The Fire Angels, it says here, sent at least 6 companies. The Flesh Tearers, 5 companies. We know Gabriel Seth was there, rocking everyone's world because he's an absolute madman. The Iron Champions sent 7 companies. The Marines Malevolent sent 2 companies. Thank the bloody Emperor, they only sent 2 companies because those arseholes would have probably bombarded everyone else on the entire planet. The Mortifactors sent 10 companies, so there we go. There is another entire chapter deployed. That is 4. Is it? No. Yeah, that is at least 4 chapters now that have sent their entirety of their chapter to this planet. This is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Omega Marines sent 9 companies. The Raptors sent 5 companies. The Relictors, again, here we go, 10 companies. Another full chapter deployed onto the surface of Armageddon. The Salamanders sent 6 companies. The Silver Skulls sent 7 companies. The Sons of Gilliman, 6 companies. The Space Wolves sent 3 bloody great companies. Storm Giants, 5 companies. The Storm Lords, 2 Brotherhoods. And the White Scars, 3 Brotherhoods onto the surface of Armageddon to combat Ghazghkull and his Orc hordes. That is absolute madness. I'm actually astonished. I'm only just learning this for the first time. It is madness. How many bloody companies, how many chapters, and how many Marines are supposedly involved in the Third War of Armageddon. This is a huge amount of Marine. The amount of Marines we're talking about here, if you sent that amount of Marines against any other force in the galaxy, surely that would end any other race. Surely this would wipe out any other race with ease, with absolute ease. The amount of, starships that they bring, the amount of, of course, the Marines themselves with their gene-enhanced physiology, their weapons, all the stuff they have, all their, their armor and stuff like that. This is just sheer absolute firepower, and we know that they really only just won the Third War of Armageddon. So what we're going to do now, we're going to flip over and we're going to look at Gaz's forces and how many boys or orcs or, just Daka he brought to the theatre of war of the Third War of Armageddon. And of course, please take in the back of your mind that this is coming from the same wiki, so there is some citations needed. So these are just basically general estimates. But of course, when it comes to orcs, you're always estimating their numbers. So it says here, in Armageddon Prime, there were 311 warbands in total. So that is between 186,000 and 933,000 orcs, including speed cults and artillery orcs. Also, there were 38 gargants and 16 battle fortresses. There were between 4,200 and 21,000 pieces of artillery, and between 12,000 and 63,000 speed cultists. Holy hot damn, that is a lot of bloody Daka. And in Armageddon Secundus, there were 550 warbands in total, so that is between 333,000 and 1,660,000 65,000 orcs, including speed cults and artillery orcs. Also, there was 52 gargants and 32 battle fortresses. There were between 10,000 and 54,000 pieces of artillery, and between 25,000 and 129,000 speed cultists. I thought Armageddon Prime was big numbers, and Armageddon Secundus was even greater numbers. Oh my holy emperor, 1.6 million orcs just warring, just running at a prime, just unleashing. Just imagine all the bloody bullets from 1.6 million orcs. We know they can spray Dakar anyway, but just imagine it 1.6 million times. Oh my holy emperor. It states here that in the fire waste there were 116 war bands in total, so that is between 69,000 orcs and 348,000 orcs, including speed cults and artillery pieces. There were 20 gargants, and there were between 6,000 and 33,000 pieces of artillery, and between 7,000 and 36,000 speed cultists. So even the fire waste, they brought just an immense amount of forces. It goes on to say in the Deadlands there were 321 warbands in total, so that is between 192,000 orcs and 963,000 orcs. Again, that's including speed cultists and artillery orcs. There were also 227, you're hearing this right, 227 battle fortresses. Oh my holy Dakar of Mork. There were between 30,000 and 153,000 speed cultists. Now it says right at the bottom of the article, it says in total, across the entirety of Armageddon, Ghazghkull landed between 781,000 to 3,909,000 orcs, 110 gargants, and 275 battle fortresses, and between 21,000 and 108,000 pieces of artillery, and between 76,000 and 324,000 speed cultists. I'm sorry, I'm tripping up over all these bloody numbers. There's just so much Dakar to count. The article does state that the figures do not include the numerous feral orc tribes that also participated in the war. It states that this would have easily brought the total orc count into excess of 4 million orcs taking part on the surface of Armageddon. Now, from my personal standpoint, I think that number is low. And when I mean it's low, is because when you take into the fact that 50,000 Space Marines deployed there, and of course with all their, their tech, their fleet, everything like that, and we have even begun to talk about the Imperial Guard. That is just like a whole different video in itself. But the amount of regiments that took part in this conflict, I think personally that orc force seems very, very low to try and take on the numbers of the Imperium. I think you could easily double or triple that number, 12 million orcs, just to go against that one planet. Do you know, even 12 million orcs seems low in my mind. I'm thinking, 15 to 20 million orcs. That is the kind of force that would really make you go, okay, we are in for a fight here. I don't think we can win this. All right, Chaperoonios, I think I'm going to leave the video there. I don't know why I've even made this video today. I was just amazed by looking at all this, and I just want to talk about it. I think it's really, really interesting to see like the stats like this. I still can't get over, around 50,000 Space Marines took part on Armageddon. That is just literally insane. I would love to see that in action, but of course I'd probably be a guardsman in a trench getting absolutely gutted by like a big boy orc and something like that. But yes, it would be something to witness. 50,000 Space Marines taking on orcs. I'm sure that is a sight to behold. Anyway, enough rambling for me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I would love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. Do you think the numbers are way off? Do you think they make sense? Let me know in the comment section, and we can have a nice little talk down there and just talk anything Armageddon related. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.